It's really been amazing how it has grown and how it is used and how it is unknown, except in this community. It is a useful collection of art.
Welcome. We're thrilled you are part of our fundraiser this year. I am Barbara Hensley. I'm the former chair of the Vincent Price Art Museum Foundation. Since I've been on the board, boy, how things have changed. Or should I say, boy, how we have changed things. The Art Museum, which was housed in a temporary studio facility on the ELAC campus, is now in a 40,000-foot, four-story structure that is the anchor building for the ELAC campus. Since I've been on the board, we've developed relationships with LACMA, the Getty, and the Huntington Museums for acquisitions of art and exhibitions. And now I want to pass it off to Stephen Wong.
Hello, my name is Stephen Wong. I'm the new director at the Vincent Price Art Museum here at the campus of East Los Angeles College. I'm indebted to my predecessor, Pilar Tompkins Rivas. We owe Pilar much gratitude and appreciation as we move forward into the future for VPAM in support of our BIPOC communities and empowering our students through the arts. VPAM is situated here between multiple communities, specifically East Los Angeles, Monterey Park, and these two communities are large Asian American, Asian Pacific American populations, and Latinx populations. Not only is VPAM a bridge between these two communities, but is a site where these two communities can explore, engage, and create and examine the intersections between these communities. We're counting on all of you to help support the museum in what we do by bidding on silent auction items. So please come support us, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Hi, my name is Raina Lee. I'm an artist based in Los Angeles, and I work primarily in clay and ceramics. A little bit about me and my practice. I mostly make functional and sculptural objects, but my main focus is on interesting textures and glazes that mimic the natural landscape. So I'm interested in colors and textures that look like very extreme landscapes that we find on the Earth or even outer space. And I'm really excited to be part of this project.
Hello, I'm Mercedes Barajas Tondra, and I am a very proud member of the Vincent Price Art Museum Foundation Board. I joined the board in 2017, and what appealed to me so much about the museum was its unique voice and point of view. Now, these past several months have been challenging and difficult for all of us, but we've been keeping very busy. We virtualized the internship programs so that they could continue throughout the year. We've added new members to the staff, new board members, and most importantly, we've been able to welcome the incomparable Stephen Wong as the new director of the Vincent Price Art Museum. Not only does the museum represent diversity and inclusion in its exhibitions and public programs, we're also creating a professional pipeline for people of color to enter the museum field. In collaboration with East LA College, programs like the Smithsonian Internship Program and the Museum Studies Certificate Program will allow for diverse voices to be heard in museums across Los Angeles and the nation as these young people pursue their careers.
Hi, my name is Sergio Turan, and I'm a Los Angeles-based artist working in the disciplines of painting, printmaking, and I dabble with 3 dimensions with 3D art as well. My work is about the Latino experience via living in Southern California as a child of immigrant parents. I'd like to think that my work gives dignity to those communities and those peoples. Basically, what my work's about.
My name is Marisa Magdalena Sykes, and I am a conceptual artist. That means I will use any means necessary to get the idea across. To this end, I have used paper bags, matches, razor blades, concrete, crochet, wood, tissue paper, and my own body, to name a few things, in order to get my ideas across.
Today we're here to see Umar Rashid at his studio in Lincoln Heights. Umar is a fabulous artist, a great supporter of VPAM, and also he had a show at VPAM in 2019. So we're gonna go talk to him right now.
Hey, Steve, what's going on?
Umar, how you doing?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me over here.
Always, man.
And it's nice to see new things happening. You know, we've got a bunch of vinyl, we have a DJ set up. Is this yours? Or?
No, it's my studio mates. Yeah, so, but it's new. I mean, sometimes there's music here. Let me just take you through some of this new stuff that I'm working on. I got a bunch of canvases that I prepped that I gotta finish. And then I've been working on these drawings. These drawings gotta get out of here pretty quickly. So right now I'm back to the California narrative. This is also looks kind of murdery, but this is the wet room. So this is the room that I can, really get loose on these backgrounds with. I'm here every day doing this, doing the research, but for this particular time, the research was already done because after I did Made in LA, I didn't have, I'm basically just continuing a narrative, so I just had to come up with some extra things, and this is some of the newer work also that I'm working on. It takes a lot of time, but ultimately, it's worth it because I'm telling this story about Los Angeles, about the indigenous, lots of things, even there was narrative about Chinese junk that I was trying to incorporate into this narrative, but it was just exploded. So I'm just going to do that later. I think I have a show next year in San Francisco, so I think I'm going to talk about the confluence of all these people, because we like to think of history from an entirely, well, not we, but most people in this country like to think about history from an entirely Eurocentric perspective. So just doing my best.
So tell me about these new paintings and what's going on with them. Does it fit into the time period? Is this also still about California and Los Angeles?
No, this isn't. This is the Solo Cup series I do. So every once in a while, I'll just throw a non sequitur into the work. The first thing that I ever did was the Colonial Basketball series, and then a slew of sports, and then now this is the Solo Cup series. The Red Cup series, and how ubiquitous they are. And so I was just like, oh man, I'm just gonna put people on horses and Solo Cups. And then it's also influenced by Kanye West video that he did with Kim Kardashian back in the day. So it's the era of humor, but I've really gotten really comfortable with it. It's not, you gotta come up with something and it's light, because a lot of, dealing with colonialism, it's a lot of death, a lot of tragedy. And so this is probably some of the work that has the most levity to it.
Tell me more about how Solo Cups ended up in here. What is up with the Solo Cups?
It's just, it's iconic. It's red, it's bold, and they're incredibly ubiquitous. From the rich to the poor, all strata of society uses these red cups. So I started seeing them a lot, and I was like, oh man, they should be holding Solo Cups. And then it's like a Saint Bernard with a Solo Cup instead of a barrel of whiskey. Just shit like that, man. Because I really sometimes I can't do it. I get so overwhelmed. I remember I did a show back in 2011 in Cape Town, South Africa, and they sent me all this literature, this material to peruse, and I was reading this material and it just literally made me cry. And so ever since then, I had to learn wow, this is gonna, going forward, I'm gonna, delve deeper into the historical narrative, the colonial narrative, and it's not gonna be always rosy. So I had to figure out a way, kind of do some self-care for myself to make things, again, give it a little bit more levity. So not everything is like all doom and gloom, and change it around, and going forward is kind of the reason why, when I had my show at VPAM, that was an amazing time, because that was one of the first times that I think people in Los Angeles got a chance to see my whole, my oeuvre, all the things, that I made all in one place. So that was really interesting. And the fact that it was in the location where it is in, East Los Angeles, where I, called home for the past 20 years. It's kind of like a FUBU situation. It's like for us, by us. Like we're making this work. And so I also think that at least if they can't buy it, at least they can see it, So that means the world. That means the world to me. So I'm really excited. Happy to be donating a piece for the gala.
Well, let's talk about that. The Vincent Price Art Museum did a show with you.
Yes.
And you've been extremely supportive of the Vincent Price Art Museum, but also other organizations and arts institutions around the LA area.
Right.
My question to you is, what compels you to support institutions like VPAM and other artists, and where's that generosity come from?
I feel like, I had this old African American studies teacher told me in high school, it's like, you're nowhere if you don't bring people along with you. So if I'm not engaging with my community on an adequate level or above average level, I don't really feel like I'm contributing anything, and it all feels self-serving and performative and selfish, and that's just not who I am on the inside. So when it comes to VPAM, again, given this is my adopted home, it's nice to have I don't have to drive halfway across town to go see good art. It's right there, literally 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from here, maybe 10. On a good traffic day. So and then the people and the people that are shown are also, it's just a rich cultural tapestry there, and a real treasure for this part of town. And because everybody's now making all their mega museums, there's so many private museums, and not that I begrudge them for doing that. I think that's fine. You can do whatever you want to with your money, as long as it serves the community in some way. That's pretty much it. I'm just going to keep on trucking.
So you came to Los Angeles in 2000. I don't even know how I met you, but Firecracker. So Firecracker is a club, hip hop club in Chinatown that lasted from I think mid '90s to the mid 2000s. And I think it was through Firecracker. And so there was a creative community, a creative hip hop community. You are also into music.
I still rap. I still do. I put out a musical project each year. There's a bunch of that stuff on Spotify, Apple Music, plug. I just do what if I like it, then I do it. If I don't like it, I don't do it. If it makes me feel uncomfortable, if it's for a lot of money, I'll do it.
When you did come to LA in 2000, what brought you out here?
LA just seemed like, what's the next place that I can go to? My wife is Japanese, and she wanted to go back to Japan. She wanted to work for some major graphic design company in Tokyo. And I was like, hey, let's give America one last chance. Let's go to the West Coast, let's go to finishing school and see what we can do. And so we ended up here. And I was supposed to give this place 3 years, but in 3 years, again, I found this, this really cool, I found the melting pot that doesn't really exist in America. I found it here at places like Firecracker and Sound Lessons, and just going around the cities at Ghetto Gloss, and going to spots like Abbot Kinney and Silver Lake. I found that melting pot where all these different paths intersected. And it was really cool. Merck Park, you know, going down there, Juju and all that, you know, there was just so much.
Umar, I love this. We could talk for hours in the studio. You know, this is amazing for me to see the new work, having known you since the early 2000s. Thank you once again. It's been a pleasure.
You too, brother. Thank you.